call logs, chats, cookies, device notifications, emails, instant messages, passwords.
You can see deleted conversations on encrypted apps like WhatsApp and Signal. Millie's deleted web browsing history.
Hopefully nothing too embarrassing.
Contact information for everyone she's spoken to, the locations of all her calls.
And you can see other people's phone numbers. It's obviously got more.
Can you see their messages to you?
Yeah.
So the police are getting information about people that you've contacted who have nothing to do with the arrest that might have happened.
Exactly, and who may have contacted me securely about work using Signal. I think the most worrying is that this can happen on arrest, even when charges are never even brought. It can also happen to witnesses and to victims. There seems to be nothing clear in terms of deletion, so it seems like the police can effectively do what they want when they obtain your phone.
It's a scary amount of information. It's also so useful for the police. This is going to be so important in investigations.
Of course. The trouble is, at the moment, you don't need a warrant to obtain any of this. There has to be a degree of involvement of checks and balances that says, well, do you know what, in this case, it's not necessary or proportionate. You don't need this person's phone.
How's it going, guys? Cody, we're back again. We're dropping yet another video. Right, guys, the video today, as you can see from the title, is about what information the police can get off people's mobile phones. Now, the video that you've just seen is extremely alarming. Now, this video, like I said, this video is a few years old, but the information is as accurate today as it was then. That device that you see that the phones are plugged into is what the police are actively using in the last couple of years up to the present day. And how scary is the information that they can get off your smartphone. Now, I've been arrested. I've had my phone seized as part of it and stuff. And what it does, obviously, I was part of a organised crime group, and what they do, it paints a picture for the police. If you're out there committing crime, right, you've got to be forensically and digitally aware. You've got to factor in the deceit of law enforcement when you are criminally active. So what that means is you don't go out there with a mobile phone, with a smartphone that's backing in off cell sites left, right and centre. If you have one of the little basher phones, as we call them, that a lot of people use, dealers and stuff use in this day and age, not registered, things like that, that's hard enough. If you get caught with a dealer phone and stuff and people are texting you saying drop off some Charlie or some Barry White or some Bobby Brown, right? Brown being heroin, White being crack cocaine, etc., amphetamine, right? What it does, that's bad enough, right? But if you get caught with a smartphone, you're in a world of shit. Because like I've said, if you get caught, right, and like I said, everyone gets caught eventually, and you could be you might be a low-level criminal, you might be dealing on a low-level, street level, you might be part of an international drugs conspiracy where you're getting import and export, and it could be a national operation, it could be any sort of crime, right? And you get caught with that phone, and the police get that phone, and there used to be a company called Technicell, right? Then the police stopped using them, and they went in house, and the police can seize your phone. Like I said, whether it's relevant to your arrest or not, you get nicked, and they think that they need to access it. What it does in layman's terms, as you can see from that video, it actually builds the police a picture. It could bring down criminal networks. It can bring down gang affiliations. If there was nonces, it could bring down paedophile rings. It's a really, like, obviously we're not asked about paedophiles, but like I said, it could bring a lot of people down. And like I said, it gives cell site location, cookies, passwords, encrypted messaging apps like Signal and WhatsApp, where you think it's secure. You've deleted their messages. They can retrieve those messages through that device. Gives you cell site location. That could put you at the scene of, say they arrest you on a charge and then they start looking at your cell site things and everything, and the cell site puts you in the place of another crime that was being committed at that time. Say it's 3 a.m, right? Cell site traffic's going to be a lot less, isn't it, at that time in the morning? They could put you in the window for another crime. You understand? That could then and then it might be text messages between you and other individuals that could have been involved in that crime. Next thing, the boys are getting picked up. This is the thing. The police are, like I said, oh yeah, they took 20,000 police off the streets, and like I say, crime's at an all-time high and it's a criminal's paradise. But when you look at this device and what the police can get off your devices, I did a video a few years ago and I can't find the video at the moment. I can't remember the title that I put for it, but it was about smartphones, police and intelligence. And I put this video that's at the start of that video as well. And like I said, guys, very, very alarming. Gives you contacts away, gives you passwords. So say that you've been arrested and they start asking you for your passwords for your social medias or something like that. Say your phone's not got a password, but they're asking you for your password for your Facebooks or your emails and stuff like that, and you don't give him, they can plug your phone into that. Bam, bam, bam. If it's not got a password on it, bam, they've got all your passwords, email addresses, text messages sent to you, pictures backwards and forwards, deleted messages, cookies, browsing history, cell site information, contacts. It's an extremely scary, gives you times, dates, locations. So what I'm saying to you guys in layman's terms, if you are criminally active and you are using a smartphone, don't. Because you're really at risk. You might think you're untouchable and blah, blah, and then the police might rush your door at 5 a.m, and then you get nicked, your phone's on a bedside table, they take your phone. And like I've said, it can bring more than you down. It can bring several people down. It also opens you up to a thing called abusive process. Now, like I've just alluded to, an abusive process in layman's terms is where you get arrested for one offence or a couple of offences, but then through your phone, they plug it into one of those machines, and the phone shows other crimes that they're looking for a suspect, or a crime that's gone thingy, a crime that's been committed in a year ago or 2 years ago, and it could put you in the frame for these crimes, or you might have incriminated yourself over text messages or WhatsApp things, WhatsApp voice messages or whatever, and you've openly spoken about a crime, and that then could be used as evidence against you. They could then question you about that offence and potentially charge you over that offence, or release you under caution. Not under caution, release you under investigation or bail, whatever the case may be. So it's called an abusive process. They come for you for one thing or two things or three things, and then your intelligence on your phone opens you up to other crimes because you might be extremely active. It could be a shooting at 3 a.m, and your cell site puts you at this location during the shooting, puts you in the frame for the crime. All this because you got caught for, I don't know, wheeling and dealing, or handling stolen goods, or bank robbery, or conspiracy to kidnap, whatever it might be. And like I said, that device, that devil device that you see at the start of the video, puts you in the frame for those crimes. It happens, guys, right? Like I said, every large scale, low level, right, high level criminal, eventually you get caught. Like I say, some people pay with a freedom, some people pay with a life, depends what you're involved in. But yeah, the police are well funded. These devices, guys, are being used locally and nationally by different police forces. The biggest police force in the UK is the Metropolitan, I think London Borough, Metropolitan Borough, whatever it's called. Second largest is Greater Manchester Police up here, my enemy. But if you were out there, like I said, I'm not trying to tell people to do crime. I'm not stupid. I hope that people are not doing crime, but I know what goes on and stuff, and people have to do what they've got to do to survive, haven't they? Put food on the table. We don't know any different. We've not had the same choices as everybody else. We've made bad decisions. They don't know what decisions we've had to choose from. We become involved in crime. If you're criminally active and you were going out and you were taking your smartphone with you on jobs, grafting, low level, street level, national level, organised crime groups, fucking whatever it might be, that there is evidence. and it's gathering evidence every time you're out and about. So your phone, you think your phone's your best friend. Your phone spies on you. If you go onto your permissions, if you go onto settings on your phone and look at permissions, look how many of these apps, right? You download an app and they say, yeah, we want access to this. And you just think, yeah, I want the app. So just, accept all that. And you're accepting permissions and they're listening to your microphone. And then what they're doing, when, like I said, Google and all these other big companies, corporations, right? They're gathering intelligence on you. You talk about fucking Florida or something, going to Florida. Next minute in your Facebook or your social media, you're scrolling down and there's holidays coming up for Florida. Book now. Your phone is, like I said, we live in this world where technology consumes our lives. PlayStations, Xboxes, AirPods, these little AirPod things that people put in their ears, smartphones, tablets, computers. We live in a very, very tech-led life, don't we? Myself included. I'm very much part of this. I don't have to worry about these things now because I'm criminal. I'm free of crime. But like I've said, if you are criminally active, right, and you're taking, say you're knocking around in a group of boys and you're going grafting or whatever you're doing, right, and you're using like a little basher phone and you throw it away once a week or once a month or whatever, so bam, 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 you keep getting rid of things. But one of your boys is carrying around this smartphone, right? You need to be careful because, like I said, if one of you get caught, that one smartphone, because like I said, a lot of people are clued up, right? And they don't talk on the phone. They don't send text messages that could incriminate themselves. They talk in code on the phone. They talk over WhatsApp on the thing here. They don't text, right? I know people that don't text that will only phone call, right? Short phone calls, bam, 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 unregistered SIMs, clean phones, or they use PGP phones. PGP are like these phones that you can sell for a few grand, and they're supposed to be, apparently it's changed now, but they was unhackable and untraceable, and the police used it, the phone, certain phones, and it has a dual purpose. One is like you can't hack it, can't get any intelligence off it. You can use it in the same terms. You can change the number a million times. The number can be like hashtag 7347 tag, right? Things like that, right? PGP phones, I've covered them before. The big business in the criminal fraternity. And when the police enter the code, you tell them the code. And if you tell them the wrong code, I think it's this, I think it's that, and then it wipes the phone and stuff like that. So PGP phones, not everyone runs around with them though. They are popular though in the criminal fraternity, criminal underworld. Not serial killers, hitmen have used them. Criminal fraternity, gangsters, high up people that are involved in some serious stuff, people that are forensically and digitally aware when they're active know a smartphone. I literally, without incriminating myself, I've been out and done bits of work and I've left my smartphone at home with the internet running, people texting me and stuff like that. When I'm out, my phone's at home, it's connected to my internet, looks like it's roaming, people sending me text messages. For all intensive purposes, I am at home. My phone puts me at home. But like I said, I was out there doing what I was doing. But too many people are out there and they're not clued up. And like I said, a lot of people are clued up and they're very, very paranoid and they've got that paranoid criminal mentality. There are also people out there that are clueless and are fucking idiots and have got no brain cells to rub together. And they're out there and they're committing crime. And they're taking this, which gathers evidence, which is literally... So when you're out there, right, say you're out there and you're committing crime and you move, say you're doing, I don't know, you're jacking people, robbing people. You're going from place to place to place to place to place, right? A lot of crime goes on from morning till night, right? A lot of criminals come out at night, right? Some people work day and night, drug dealing, whatever they're doing, right? But a lot of people come out at night to graft. You don't see these druggies breaking into, well, they do it in the house, commercial burglaries and stuff, but a lot of people, you wait till night time. When you're out there, if you've got a phone on you, right, you're banging off cell sites left, right and centre, and it can triangulate you and stuff, and it puts you at the scene of crimes. You then get arrested on another graft, and then they look back at your phone and it's putting you in all these different places for all these different jobs, puts you in the window, puts other people at risk. can bring down criminal empires, can bring down co-defendants and stuff, or friends of yours can become co-defendants, because that's how it works. These devices, guys, like I said, the police are very well equipped. Now, we know the jokers and the police are snidey and stuff like that, and they'll stitch it if they can. And it's a game of cat and mouse. And for the most part, the police they're outnumbered and stuff and everything like that. But the facts is they nick you one time, they get your phone. And what your phone tells them, like I said, can bring you down for past crimes, the crime that you've allegedly committed this time, can bring down criminal networks, criminal connections, can also, like I said, the police can do abuse of power, which is where they'll say, well, we came for you for this crime, but we found out through your phone about this crime and that crime. They can then arrest you, question you, and potentially charge you, evidence, whether it's there or not. Even if there's no evidence, if they want to charge you, they can charge you. It goes down like that. But they can use that against you as well. So like I said, you've been nicked for one crime snowballs, and now you've been nicked for 2, 3, 4. Your boys are being dragged in because you fucking swapped text messages with them and stuff like that. I know people that will only talk on the phone. And I know other people that would just literally be like, listen, like, yeah, I'll meet you at the spot, and they'll use the phone for the bare minimum. I know people that have sent incriminating text messages. I used to have somebody, when I first started my YouTube channel many years ago, that used to text me asking me to get older firearms for him. Like, whoa, don't ever chat to me like that. I've got a subscriber on here who I won't name, who used to message me over a certain social media app, talking about incriminating himself over messages. And I was like, bro, I said, listen, I said, I got hold of the kid. I said, stop messaging me like that. I said, I rang him on the phone. I said, stop talking to me like that. I said, you're talking like you've done it. I said, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You're obviously, you're saying that the police are alleging that you've done. And the kid clued himself up quick, because I said to him, bro, he had to go in for a volunteer interview. And I told him, I said, do not take your phone with you. And do not have it at your house, because if the police decide to arrest you, like I said, they could go then to your house under, I can't think, it's 17, 18, 32 of pace, and search your property. If they find the phone, they can take it and stuff, and it would have opened a can of worms, right? But some people are just not clued up. Some people are very clued up. Some people are overcautious. But if you're criminally active, I don't think there's such thing as overcautious. If you become complacent, you leave yourself open to getting fucked by the police. And like I've said, consent, depending on what you're involved in, could send you away for months, could send you away for years, decades, right? So like I've said, by having that paranoid criminal mentality, you know that this phone, all the things it does, right? We think about it. We don't think about the bare basics, what the phone can do. We think about, the intelligent thing and the apps. You're not looking at the permissions that it's got and what it does, and banging off cell sites and stuff. When you get a text messages, it's coming from from a cell site, 4G, 5G tower, whatever it is. Right? Triangulates you, can put you in a location. When you go on your phone and you put location on, and you go on Google Maps and press on where your location is, it will take you down to a T. If you lived in like a house and it was the end terrace, for example, it would show you are at the end terrace. If your phone knows that, Google knows that, like I said, and the police get hold of your phone, plug it into one of these machines, it can cause serious problems, really badly. Anyway, guys, I've rambled on enough. This is smartphones. This is why if you're not criminally active, like I said, they're still spying on you. But if you were criminally active and you are using one of these, you're a fucking idiot. We got around with 50-mile radios. We used to change the frequency regularly. We'd talk in code. We'd have call signs. Clued up. Paranoid mentality kept us out of prison. The reason that people laugh at me and say, oh, Cody, you've only been to prison 3 times, right? Like, I'm glad I didn't go to prison 10 times for 10 years a time, or 5 years, or 5 years, or 8 years, or 10 years. I'm glad. The reason, a lot of my things that I've ever been arrested for, was I guilty of them? I'll leave it up to you to decide. But forensically and digitally aware, always clued up, always had a... I can't think what it's called. Like when you go and commit crime, the the planning is key. Plan A, plan B, plan C. Yeah, always like that. Set of gloves, obviously, balaclava, whatever you're up to, and don't have your fucking phone on you. That can put you at the scenes of crimes. And like I said, you've got these PGP phones. You can check them out online, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I've waffled on long enough. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the start of the video, that particular video. I've posted it before. I posted it again. Let me know, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.